Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to all the students. I welcome you to another G1 Holy Quran class today. So let's start our class with the recitation of the Holy Quran. Could I request the support teacher to please kindly pick a student for the recitation?
Assalamu alaikum everyone. G1305, please unmute yourself.
G1305. Assalamu alaikum.
G1325, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm fine, Alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm fine too, Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for asking. Could you recite for me the following verse? Start with Tawad and Tasmiyah.
Okay. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allahumma inna as'aluka ilman nafi'a.
Yes, well done, mashallah. You recited very well. Just one thing here, it's inni. Can you recite this verse again for me from the start?
Okay. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a.
Well done. Translation?
Oh Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge.
Jazakillah. Well done, mashallah. You recited well. Allah Hafiz.
Allah, please.
Allah Hafiz. So I would quickly go through the etiquettes. I'm pretty sure all the students are aware of those. So let's quickly go through. I hope you have all done your ablution and are wearing clean clothes, have your head covered, and are in a quiet place with your parents, and have entered the class with the correct ID. So moving on to the lesson today, we would be learning about the waqf rules, which we will be covering from number 12 to 22 about the waqf rules. And we would also be learning Surah Al-Ikhlas, like how to pronounce Surah Al-Ikhlas with correct pronunciation. So moving on to the waqf rules. So we are going to be covering rule number 12 to 22. So the first waqf, before we start, let me just quickly say that what does waqf mean? Waqf means to stop or pause. During the recitation, pausing at the end of a meaningful sentence or a verse with a break of breath is called waqf. So we are going to be learning different correct ways where we can pause and do our waqf. So the first one is here. We can say rafa'na. We are going to be pausing here. However, there will be no change in here because the alif, as you can see, we have learned it's a huruful mad. So whenever a word ends with huruful mad, so there's no change. So rafa'na will stay the same as here when we pause. So the next waqf rule is al-a'la. We can see here that the lam carries a fatha. So when we are going to be al-a'la, we are going to do waqf. What's going to happen to this lam? Lam with fatha. So the fatha will turn into a vertical fatha. We can see here. Okay. And the reason why is because this word is ending with a blank ya. So a blank, when we do waqf here, the blank ya makes the fatha into a vertical fatha. So al-a'la, we are going to prolong this to do our waqf. If we are not doing any waqf, so it will stay with the fatha. And if we are doing waqf here, this fatha will turn into a vertical fatha. Al-a'la. It might sound, pretty sure that for the students, you're very young. It might sound really a bit tricky and difficult, but don't worry. If you don't get it, that's okay. We are going to practice these rules in our classes, and inshallah, we will get the hang of it. So don't worry about it. So the next is here, number 14. We can see yazunnu. We have to do waqf here. We have to stop here. So what do? This noon carries a dhamma and a shadda. Okay, so what happens is this dhamma here on top of the noon turns into a sukoon, as you can see here. So we changed the dhamma into a sukoon. However, what about the tashdid? We will still read the tashdid. It still needs to be manifested properly. So it's going to be pronounced like yazun. So we do not pronounce the dhamma because the dhamma here you can see changes to sukoon. However, the shadda, tajdid, we have to pronounce that. We have to make sure that it's manifested properly and you can hear the doubling of the letter. Yazun. So moving on. Here we have another word, number 15. So it's going to be pronounced musamman. However, what's going to happen to the tanween here when we do waqf? So here we can see when we do waqf here, that tanween is going to turn into a vertical fatha. Here you can see this is the black one. It carries two tanween, fatha tanween. However, we are doing waqf here, so it's going to turn into a vertical fatha if we stop here. So musamma. Also make sure, as I've told you, even though the tanween turns into a vertical fatha, the tashdid stays the same. So we have to make sure it's manifested properly with the double of the letter. Musamma. So moving on, I think we can, let's practice this before we continue to the other rules. Good to have a student on the mic so we can practice this rule.
Can I please remind everyone to use the correct GID? Otherwise, you'll have to go in the waiting room. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
G1348, please unmute yourself.
G1348.
G1366, please unmute yourself.
G1366.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. So I would like to ask you about the rule number of waqf number 15. Could you tell me this here, the word musamman? When we do waqf, how does this tanween change?
So you don't read it?
Yeah, we don't read it. That's right. And what does it become then? This fatha tanween?
It becomes a fatah. No, it becomes a fatah ishbaya.
Yes, well done. So it turns into a vertical fatha or fatha ishbaya. Well done. That was perfect. And number 14 here, yazunnu. Can you tell me the dhamma? What does this dhamma change to?
Dhamma ishbaya.
Can you see here?
Yeah.
What does this dhamma change into? This small. Is it a sukoon?
Yeah.
Yes. So can you see here? The dhamma changes into the sukoon. And would the tashdid be manifested or no?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, that's okay. So the tajdeed, which is the small scene, it would be manifested. It will stay the same, but the dhamma will change into a sukoon. Can you read for me this word?
Yazun. Yazun. Yazun.
Yazunnu. This is without the waqf. Yazunnu.
Yazunnu.
Yes. And with the waqf, can you read it?
Yazun.
Yes. So make sure the noon is manifested with a doubling. Yazun.
Zun.
Yes, that's a bit better. Well done. Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Could I have one more student for the practice?
G1393, please unmute yourself.
G1393.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Jazakallah for asking. Could you read for me this number 12
Okay.
without following the waqf?
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim.
Rafa'na.
Rafa'na.
Yes, well done. And can you read this with the waqf rule?
Rafa'na.
Well done. So could you tell me that will there be a change when we do waqf or no?
No.
No. Well done. That was excellent. Well done. And number 13, can you read it without the waqf? Al-a'la.
Allah.
Yes. And with the waqf?
Al-a'la.
Well done. That was excellent. And can you tell me the difference when we do waqf? What does this fatha change into?
A vertical fatha.
Yes, that was perfect. Well done. Jazakillah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, so let's move on to the other waqf rules. Number 16, we have ma'dudatin. So this is without the waqf. I have read it now. So what are we going to do when we waqf here? So as we can see, the tanween, kasra tanween, will change into a sukoon. Okay, you can see here. So we are going to be joining the dal with the ta. However, make sure that we do not prolong it. So ma'dudat. Okay. And the next, number 17, is nisa'an. Here we have Maddi Kabir. So we have to prolong it around 5 to 6 seconds. Just a reminder for everyone. And we have the Hamza is carrying Tanween Fatha. So how is this going to change when we do waqf here? So the thing is that this Hamza, which carries the Tanween, will change into a vertical Fatha. Don't know if you can see that the Fatha Tanween almost changes into a vertical Fatha. As we can see here, the Tanween of Fatha changes to vertical Fatha. And here as well, we can see that the Tanween of Fatha changes to a vertical Fatha, Ishbariya Fatha. So it would be pronounced like Nisa. Okay, I hope it makes sense to everyone. Don't worry if you don't get it. We will practice it together, inshallah, and we will get the hang of it. So number 18. This rule, waqf rule, is similar to number 17. However, you can see the hamza. It carries a tanween of kasra, and here is different. Here it had tanween of fatha. Here we have tanween of kasra. So so this is without the waqf. I just read it. But however, what are we going to do if we waqf here? Well, we have to remember that whenever hamza carries tanween of dhamma or kasra, here it carries tanween of kasra, the letter will change into a sukun, hamza sakina. Here you can see. So we are going to prolong the meme and then join it with a slight jerk with hamza. Ma. So remember that we have learned about the hamza sakin, that when alif or hamza carries a sukun, we join it with a slight jerk. So here we are going to prolong the meme and join it with the hamza with a slight jerk. And so the next, number 19, is an-nabiyyu. We can see here that the ya carries a dhamma and it also carries a shadda. So what's going to happen, as we have learned in number 14, is the same rule. Here the dhamma is going to change into a sukun. However, the shadda in the small sin will stay the same. So we have to make sure that we double the letter when we are joining, but also do the sakin. An-nabi. Okay, an-nabi. Let's see, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have 3 left. So I think we can I request for a student so we can practice this waqf rule?
Yes, G1413. Please unmute yourself.
G1413. Assalamu alaikum. Could you recite for me number 16, this box, without waqf?
Do I have to start with that?
Yes, please. Tawad and tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Yes. Can you tell me here? Okay. Can you read this again with the waqf rule?
Yeah.
Ma'du. Can you? Ma'dudat. Ma'dudat. Yes, that's a bit better. Can you tell me quickly that the ta here we have, it carries a kasra tanween. What is it going to turn into if we do waqf? Here you can see the red ta.
Sakin.
Yes, well done. That was excellent. So the tanween of kasra will turn into sakin. That's right. Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz.
Office.
Could I have another student, please?
G1456. Please unmute yourself.
G1456. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you recite for me number 17? Start with Tawad and Tasmiyah.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nisa'an.
Okay, well done. Now, can you recite this again with following the waqf rule?
Nisa'a.
Well done. That was excellent, mashallah. Can you tell me the difference? So when we do waqf here, the hamza with fatha tanween, what does it turn into?
Isbiya.
Yes, well done. So it changes into a fatha ijbaya. Well done, Jazakillah. Allah Hafiz.
Jazakallah.
Could I have another student, please?
G1467, please unmute yourself.
G1467.
G1476, please unmute yourself.
G1476.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you recite for me the number 18 box? Start with Tawad and Tasbih.
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ma'in.
Yes, prolong the Madde Kabir a bit more.
Ma.
Yes, well done. That was excellent. Could you now do the waqf and tell me how we are going to recite it? Assalamu alaikum. I think they have disconnected. Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you recite it again by following the waqf rule?
Ma.
Yeah, so remember that whenever alif or hamza has a sukoon, we do a slight jerk when we join. Ma.
Ma.
Okay, well done, mashallah. Can you tell me the difference when we stop in the hamza? What does this tanween kasra change into?
Kasra.
Does this tanween of kasra change into a sukoon?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. It changes into a sukoon. You can see this. The hamza carries a small dal on top. Can you see?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is a sukoon. So this changes into a sukoon. So we stop here and do a waqf. Okay? Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Could I have one more student?
G1504, please unmute yourself.
G1504.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Could you recite for me the number 19 box? Start with Tawad and Tasmiyah.
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. An-Nabiyyu.
Yes. An-Nabiyyu.
An-Nabiyyu.
Yes, well done. And now with waqf rule, how do we change it?
On top of the ya, you change the dhamma on top of the ya. You change it into a sukoon.
Well done. That was excellent. And also the shaddad. Does it stay the same?
No, it will be lightly manifested.
Yeah, so it stays the same. It will be manifested as the same. So well done. Can you recite it for me by following the waqf rule?
An-Nabi.
Yes, that was perfect. Excellent. Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. So let's quickly cover the last three waqf rules. Here we can see, I will pronounce it without the waqf, mathwaya. However, when we are going to waqf here, what's going to happen? So the ya, it carries a fatha. Yes, here. However, when we are doing waqf, the fatha is going to change into a sukoon. Mathway. Okay. But make sure that we do not prolong this mathway like a lean letter. I hope students remember that the lean letters, when they come, we kind of prolong it with a rounded sound. However, here we are stopping, so we do not follow the rule of lean. So here, without the waqf, mathwaya. However, when we are doing waqf here, mathway. Okay, I hope it makes sense to everyone. The number 21 is tuwan. Here we have, it's written tuwan. So what's going to happen when we do waqf here? As you can see here, the vowel here, vowel carries a tanween of fatha. However, if we do waqf here, the tanween will change into a vertical fatha. I hope everyone has seen that whenever we have a tanween of fatha here, you can see it almost always changes into a vertical fatha, a fatha ishbariya. And here as well, you can see. So same with the rule number 21. The vowel carries a fatha tanween. It's going to change into a fatha ishbariya. Quwa. Okay, so we have to prolong the vowel for around two seconds. Okay, so the next here we have the word kafaru. Here you can, I hope all students remember the rule we are going to follow here is huruful mad. Vowel here is acting as huruful mad because the previous letter, which is ra, which is joining with the vowel, carries a dhamma. So it's joining with vowel, and vowel is a sakin. So we have to prolong this when we join for 2 seconds. Kafaru. And same here, as you can see, at the end we have alif. Alif here is acting as huruful mad. And before that we have ha. It carries a fatha. So we will prolong this ha for around 2 seconds. Banaha. So what are we going to do when we do waqf here? Is there going to be a change? There will be no change because when a letter is of huruful mad, or if a letter is sakin, meaning it carries a sukoon here, as you can see the vowel carries a sukoon, or if it's a letter of lean, there would be no changing. As we can see with these examples below, waskuru, vowel again acting as huruful mad, so we're going to prolong it, and during waqf there will be no change. Okay, so could I have one more student so we can practice the rules?
G1515, please unmute yourself.
Okay, G1515, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you recite for me the number 22 box? Start with Tawad and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, so can you recite these two words without the waqf?
Yes. Kafaru.
Yes. Do not prolong the ka. Kafaru.
Kafaru.
Yes, well done. Next.
Banafa.
Banaha.
Banaha.
Yes, well done. This is a ha, so you might have mistaken it. Can you tell me when we do waqf in this letter, is there any change taking place or would it stay the same?
The wa will turn into a second letter.
Yes, it's already a second letter here, as you can see. Can you see?
Yeah.
So would there be a change?
No.
No. Perfect. That's excellent. So it's already a second here. So there's no change happening. And here, why there's no change? Is it huruful mad?
Yes.
Yes, well done. So this is huruful mad. There will be no change. And this vow is also here as huruful mad, but it also a sakin. So there would be no change. Well done, Jazakillah. Allah Hafiz.
I love this.
Allah Hafiz. Could I have one more student to practice the rule?
G1584, please unmute yourself.
G1584. Assalamu alaikum.
G1564, please.
G1564.
1554, please unmute yourself.
G1554. Assalamu alaikum.
G1623, please unmute yourself.
G1623.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you recite for me the number 21 box? Start with
Okay.
Tawad and Tasmiyah.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم 2 1.
Yes, well done. And when we do waqf here, how are we going to do it?
The فتحتين turn into a فتحة شوية.
Yes, well done. That was excellent. So can you do the waqf?
Okay. 2
Yes, well done. You recited well, mashallah. Jazakillah. Allah Hafiz.
جزاك الله العافية.
Allah Hafiz. So we're moving on to the second part of the class today. We are going to be practicing Surah Al-Ikhlas, and we are going to recite it together with the correct pronunciation. I will recite it first, and I want all the students to repeat after me, okay? And then I will get every student to come on the mic and to recite it, okay? So please look out for all the rules that will be applied. So let's start. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So I want all the students to repeat at home. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد. قل هو الله أحد. So make sure that we have a qaf here, and it's a thick letter. So we have to pronounce it thick and fuller, and also the Allah, the lam mushaddad, we have to make it a bit thicker as well, because the letter before, which is joining, it carries a fatha. So it carries a fatha, so we will pronounce the lam mushaddad, lam jalala, a thick. Also here, you can see we have a ha, and I'm pretty sure all students know that ha is a letter of throat. So we have to pronounce it from our throat. So remember these rules and apply it so you can beautify your recitation. قل هو الله أحد. الله الصمد. الله الصمد. So here again we can say lam mushaddad. So it's going to be pronounced thick. As you can see, the alif carries a fatha. Same here. The vaw carries a fatha. So this lam mushaddad will be pronounced thick. And another thing we have to look out for is the sod. As I told you earlier, that this qaf is a thick letter. It's one of the thick letters. Inshallah, we will cover in our future classes. So this sod is also a thick letter. So we have to make sure that it's pronounced thicker and broader. Allahu Samad. Allahu Samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Also here, we can see the vowel is a sakin, and it's acting here as huruful mad. So a slight, we're going to prolong this yulad, you, for around 2 seconds. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. So here we have to look out for the here inverted dhamma. Make sure we prolong it for 2 seconds. And here we have a kaf. So it's very important in Surah Al-Ikhlas that we differentiate between qaf here at the start and kaf. This kaf is pronounced thin. The first one is pronounced thick, qul. However, the last line is pronounced thin. So it's very important that we all follow this. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. So I hope it makes sense to everyone. Could we have a student on the mic to recite Surah Al-Ikhlas?
G1638, please unmute yourself.
G1638. Wa alaikum assalam. And can you come closer to the mic so I can hear you more?
Okay.
Okay. It's a bit better now. Okay, so can you recite for me Surah Al-Ikhlas and also follow the rules? Start with Tawad and Tasmiyah, please. I still can't hear you. Could you come a bit near? Yes. قل هو الله أحد. أحد. Yes, well done. Allahus Samad. Allahus Samad. Well done. Lam yalid walam yulad. Yes, well done. Walam yakul lahu yakul lahu. Yes. Kufuwan ahad. Yes, well done. Excellent, mashallah. So I want you to keep practicing this at home, okay? You recited well. Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz. Okay, can I have another student on the mic?
G1671, please unmute yourself.
G1671. Assalamu alaikum.
G1711, please unmute yourself.
G1711.
G1768, please unmute yourself.
G1768.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you recite for me the Surah Al-Ikhlas? Start with Tawad and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد
Yes,
لم
just one thing, that make the sword a bit thicker. Allahu Samad.
الله الصمد
Yes,
لم يلد ولم يولد
yes,
ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
yes. Well done, mashallah. You recited very well. Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz. Could I have another student on the mic?
G1787, please unmute yourself.
G1787.
Good morning.
Assalamu alaikum. Could you recite for me Surah Al-Ikhlas? Start with Tawud and Tasmiyah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد.
الله الأحد
قل
قل
هو الله
هو الله
هو أحد.
هو أحد
الله
الله
هو الصمد.
هو الصمد
لم يلد
لم يلد
ولم
ولم
يولد
يولد
ولم
ولم
يكن له
يكن له
كفوا
كفوا
أحد.
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 Yes, well done, mashallah. You did very well. Jazakillah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Could
Allah
I,
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Could I have another student on the mic?
G1839, please unmute yourself.
G1839.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you recite for me Surah Al-Ikhlas?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Okay, Jazakallah. Well done, mashallah. You recited well. Just one thing here, that when you start Surah Al-Ikhlas, make sure the ra is pronounced thick. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ.
قل هو الله أحد.
Yes, well done. That was excellent. Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. We are running out of time, so that's why we're kind of rushing through all the students, because I want all the students to come on the mic. So apologies if it feels rushed to everyone. Could I have another student, please?
G1800, please unmute yourself.
G1800. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Could you recite for me Surah Al-Ikhlas?
Yes. قل هو الله
Start
أحد.
with Ta'awud and Tasmiyah, please.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد
Yes.
الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Okay, Jazakallah. Well done, mashallah. Just one thing here to beautify our recitation, that make sure that you pronounce the lam mushaddad thicker. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ.
قل هو الله أحد.
Okay, that's a lot better. And here as well, Allahu Samad.
الله الصمد.
Yes, well done, mashallah. That was excellent. Jazakallah.
جزاك الله.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Could I have another student on the mic?
Can my sister go?
Does she have an ID?
Yes, her ID is G1801.
Okay, yes, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you recite for me Surah Al-Ikhlas?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل
قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ
قل هو الله
أحد.
أحد الله الصمد
لم يلد
لم يلد
ولم يولد
كفوا
ولم يكن له
ولم يكن له
ولم
ولم
يكن له
وكن له
يكن له
يكن له
كفوا
كفوا
أحد.
أحد.
Well done, mashallah. Jazakillah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Can my brother have a go?
Maybe next time I would like to have more other students, okay?
Okay.
Jazakallah. Could I have another student on the mic?
G1845, please unmute yourself.
G1845.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you recite for me Surah Al-Ikhlas?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد
Allahu Samad.
الله الصمد
Yes.
لم يلد ولم يولد
Yes.
لم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Yes. Well done, mashallah. You recited very well. Jazakallah.
Jazakallah.
Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.
Good Hafiz.
So, Allah Hafiz. So now we are reaching towards the end of our class. Students who couldn't recite in class today, I hope you practice Surah Al-Ikhlas at home with the correct pronunciation. So the homework that you're going to be given is that you have to practice the waqf rules, which we had covered in the class from number 12 to 22. So I want you to go through these and also practice Surah Al-Ikhlas at home. And remember to follow all the rules we have learned and with correct pronunciation. And you can visit Al-Islam. Here there's a link, Al-Islam, the website. So, and you can play the audio of Surah Al-Ikhlas to know the correct pronunciation. So let's end our class with the ending prayer. Could I have a student on the mic to recite the prayer?
G1415, please unmute yourself.
G1415.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Could you recite for me this prayer? Start with Tawad and Tasmiyah, please.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Yes.
Okay. اللهم ارحمني بالقرآن العظيم.
Translation.
O Allah, have mercy on me through the Quran the Great. واجعله لي إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة. And make it for me, the leader, the light, the guidance, and the mercy.
Okay, Jazakallah. Well done. You recited well, mashallah. So with that, this concludes our class for today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.